Beginning on your backs, start with the soles of your feet flat to the floor and your feet a little bit wider than your hips. Allow your knees to fall together, and this is going to relax your back down into the mat. Your arms might be down by your sides, or your hands might rest gently on your body. Either way is fine. And then for a moment, let your eyes close and start to move the breath in and out through your nose. And just sense that you're giving yourself a gift with this practice today, that you're stepping away from all responsibility, anything that you have to do, any kind of obligation. And this time is really a gift that you're giving back to yourself. It's just for you. With your breath steady and your breath deep, on the inhale, hug your knees into your chest. And as your knees hug into your chest, feel your hip creases soften as your thighs gently draw down and in toward the floor. And then keep your knees where they are and spread your arms out wide. And as you spread your arms out wide, spin your palms down to the floor just to gently ground your hands. And softly drop your knees to the right. Shift your hips and your gaze to the left. If for any reason looking to the left congests your throat or inhibits your breath, then keep the gaze up to the ceiling. Sometimes that can be nice to maintain a fluid flow of breath along the back of the throat. And on the inhale, draw the knees back to the center. And as you exhale, softly drop the knees to the left, shifting the hips and the gaze over to the right. And on the inhale, coming back through the center, hug the knees into the chest. Start to create a little bit of momentum, rocking forward and back along the length of the spine. Eventually rock all the way up, cross the ankles and roll onto the hands and knees, pausing in tabletop pose. Wrists underneath the shoulders and knees underneath the hips, and it's really important to make sure that your joints are stacking properly. So you can see with Jamie here that her knee is directly underneath her hip, and that her wrist is directly underneath her shoulder, and that just protects us as we move. On the inhale, drop the belly, draw the heart through, allow the tips of the shoulder blades to melt into the back of the heart. And as you exhale, drop the head, round the spine, and feel how the shoulder blades separate across the back. Inhale, heart forward, the tailbone lifts, the back of the head gently lifts. Exhale, drop the head, round the spine, press the floor away, lift the sides of the waist. 2 more like this. Inhale, heart rising as if you're trying to draw the heart through the gateway of the shoulders. Exhale, drop the head, dome the back, press the floor away, feel the belly button draw up and in a little bit. Inhale, heart forward, collarbones widen. Exhale, drop the head, round the spine, gently press the floor away. Then back to a flat back as you inhale, so feel that you're in between those 2 shapes. Keep what you have as the low belly lifts, so the back is long and supported, and then lift your right leg up and back. As you lift your right leg up and back, see if you can spin your outer right hip down toward the floor, so you can see across the back, it's one long line of energy as you reach. And then as you feel appropriate, and if it feels ready for you today, send your left arm forward toward the front of the room. So there are times, especially if the practice is newer for us, that maybe we don't quite have the balance to do this. It would be fine if your left hand stayed on the floor, and over time you'll build the strength and the stamina to be able to extend both limbs. Take a big inhale at the top, and then exhale, gently set everything back down to the mat. On the inhale, lift the left leg up and back, drive the heel toward the back of the room, and then if it feels right, send the right arm forward, bicep nearer by the ear. And if for any reason balance is a little unsteady, then your right hand would stay down on the floor. So just being compassionate with yourself always, that yoga is not a competition. This is really something that you're giving back to yourself with your breath. Take a deep inhale, reach out, and exhale, set everything down to the mat. Very gently tuck your toes, lift your knees, and press up and back, downward facing dog. Sit bones to the sky, heels drawing down low. And then from down dog, gently bend the knees about 3 to 6 inches. And as you bend the knees, lift the sit bones up toward the sky and press the chest back toward the thighs. See how long you can get through the spine. Keep that, and then start to straighten the legs as the heels come back down toward the mat. If you need to keep the knees a little bit bent today, by all means do that. Over time, the hamstrings in the back will open. Take a deep inhale, press the chest back. As you exhale, gaze forward, bend your knees, and lightly step your feet up to the top of your mat. On the inhale, glance out. Exhale, forward fold and melt. On the inhale, sweep the arms out, rise high, palms touch overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart as you bring it in, just giving back to yourself with breath, a couple half salutations here. Inhale, circle the arms to the sky, the shoulders stay soft. Exhale, forward fold, dive down over the thighs to release. Inhale, pull the chest out and fold back in as you exhale. On the inhale, sweep the arms out, rise high, palms touch overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart as you bring it into center, just connecting with your breath. Inhale, circle the arms to the sky, shoulders stay soft. Exhale, forward fold, dive over your thighs. Inhale, glance out and lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold back in one more time like this. Inhale, sweep the arms out, rise high, palms touch overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart, bring it in and connect. On the inhale, circle the arms to the sky, deep breath as you rise. Exhale, forward fold as you dive over your thighs. Inhale, glance out and lengthen through the back. This time, plant your hands to the mat as you exhale. Step your feet back to upper push-up and pause an upper push-up pose. Today, we're going to lower the knees down behind the hips, using the knees for support, lower all the way down to the mat. As you lower down to the mat, release the tops of the feet to the floor. Slide the hands back so the wrists are right underneath the elbows. Low cobra is your inhale. Lift your heart, roll your shoulders back. Exhale, heart, chest, and chin to the mat. As you press into your hands, press back to your knees, then tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. As you press back through downward facing dog, feel your outer arms rolling away from the sides of your head. And then if you can press the arms past straight, give the elbows a tiny micro bend. On the inhale, press the chest back. Gaze forward, bend your knees, lightly step your feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, draw the heart out. Exhale, forward fold and melt. Inhale, sweep the arms out, rise high, palms touch. Exhale, hands to the heart, bring it in. Inhale, circle the arms to the sky, deep breath as you rise. Exhale, forward fold as you dive. Inhale, lengthen and really feel the fullness of the breath. Then plant the hands to the mat as you exhale. Step your feet to upper push-up. Lower your knees down, elbows in as you lower slow to the mat. Inhale, lifting the heart to cobra, rolling the shoulders back. As you exhale, lowering the heart, the chest, the chin, pressing to the knees, tucking the toes, and lifting back up, downward facing dog. Pausing in down dog, feeling the forearms lifting away from the mat. And there's even that little lift of the low belly up and in. Last cycle like this. Inhale, press the chest back. Gaze forward, bend your knees, and lightly step to the top of the mat. Inhale, pull the heart out. Exhale, forward fold and melt. On the inhale, sweep the arms out, rise high. Exhale, hands to the heart, just noticing your breath right here, right now. On the inhale, circle the arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold as you dive. Inhale, pull the heart out and lengthen the spine. Plant the hands as you exhale. Step the feet back to upper push-up. Knees down, lower slow, elbows hug in and point back. Inhale, scoop the heart, low cobra as the chest lifts. Exhale, pressing back through your knees, tucking your toes and lifting your hips. Pausing in down dog, take a moment, maybe even closing your eyes and going inside for a breath, for a beat. Take a deep inhale, stretch back. Gaze forward, bend your knees, lightly step the feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, draw the heart out. Exhale, forward fold and melt. Bend your knees, drop your hips, circle your arms to the sky, chair pose. So there are multiple ways to do chair. Your feet might be side by side, or your feet might be the distance of the hips. Both are great. If the feet are the distance of the hips, just make sure the knees continue to point forward, they don't knock in. Take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, lay your chest on your thighs, run your arms down by your sides, and we're just gonna flow. Inhale, lift the chest up to chair pose. 2 to go. Chest down, arms back in a flow. Inhale, rise to chair. Last time. Chest down, arms back on the exhale. Inhale, rise to chair. Pause here. Then press to standing, straighten your legs, bring your hands to your heart. Feel your 2 feet rooted at the top of your mat. And with your 2 feet rooted to the top of the mat, keep your right foot where it is. Step your left foot back and toward the left side of your mat, setting up for warrior 1. Your right knee over your right ankle, so you might have to heel toe your foot to the right. Your back left toes on a gentle angle, and the outside edge of your left foot presses to the mat. As your right hip draws back, send your arms to the sky. Take an inhale and lift high. Beautiful, you guys. So just to your own amount, descending into the right thigh, taking care of yourself, and noticing that you're continuing to drop the tailbone down as you lift the pelvis up. Both hip points point straight ahead. Take a deep inhale at the top. Open up, second warrior. Spread your arms out. This means that the front heel lines up with the back arch. The palms spin down and your gaze is ahead over your right middle finger. See if you can keep the right thigh where it is. Just spin your right palm to the sky. Inhale, send your right arm up and overhead to reverse warrior. As your right arm reaches back, keep your right arm where it is. Reach your left hand up, take your right wrist into your left hand, and gently draw your right arm back. Create a little more space as you continue to sit down deep into the front right knee, but your knee never goes past your ankle. Take one more big inhale, reach back. Back to warrior 2, spread your arms out wide, and then straighten your front right leg. Keeping your right leg straight, heel toe your back foot in just a little bit. Inhale, your right arm reaches out. Triangle pose as your exhale, right hand comes down, left arm to the sky. Stack the shoulders. And your hand might be on your shin. It might be to the outside edge of your foot, or you could even take your block at home and place that to the outer edge of your foot, resting your hand on the block height that's appropriate for you today. And just as you grow long through the sides of your waist, notice that your legs are still working strong. You're not dumping into your back. Your legs are still supporting the pose as you stand tall. Look down at your right knee. Rebend your right knee back to warrior 2. Spread the arms out wide. Sit here for a moment. Take a goodbye inhale. And then straighten your right leg once again. Spin your right toes to mirror your left toes. Keep your arms lifted. Take a big inhale. Lean back, open up. Exhale, fold forward between your 2 legs. As you fold down, pause for a moment and plant your fingertips right underneath your eyes. Rise to your fingertips, pull your chest out and lengthen your spine. Keep your left hand where it is and send your right arm to the sky. Stacking your right shoulder on top of your left. Notice that your low back stays flat. So inner thighs hug toward each other, noticing that the right hip continues to hug into the midline. The left hip kind of wants to go with you. You've got to squeeze the inner thighs toward the center. Take a deep inhale at the top. Right fingertips come down as you exhale, left arm to the sky as you inhale. Stack the left shoulder on top of the right, and the same work happens here. Sometimes that right hip wants to drop and sway. You're gonna pull the right hip back as you suck the left inner thigh in. Palm facing to the left, take one more big inhale, lean back, open up. As you exhale, the left hand comes down, let the head hang. The palms touching the floor. For some of us, the crown of the head touches the floor. If you were at home and the floor was really far away, you could even take 2 blocks underneath your hands and have those for support in place of the floor. So just knowing that you can always support your practice in the way that serves your body best today. Take another inhale here. And then as you exhale, stay down low and walk yourself to your back left foot. As you walk yourself to your back left foot, spin onto your right toes and sink down into a low lunge. As you bend down into your front left knee, lower your right knee down to the mat. And slide your right knee behind your right hip so you get a little bit of a quadricep stretch. And then heel-toe your left foot to the left. And as you heel-toe your left foot to the left, bring your left hand to the inside edge of your left foot. Give yourself a moment here. We'll probably stay up on the hands. Go ahead and bend the back right knee, reach back with the left hand, and take a hold of the top of the foot or the ankle. As you roll the left shoulder back, sense that you could continue to hug the left knee into the chest, and you could stand into the inner edge of the left foot, that continues to root down to the mat. Take a big inhale at the top, open up the chest. As you exhale, really gently release the right foot down to the floor, place the left hand down to the mat, heel-toe the left foot back through the center, and take your left hand to the outside edge of the foot. Tuck the right toes, lift the right knee up and off the mat, and then step back to downward facing dog. As you step back to down dog, take a deep inhale here. And as you exhale, plant the knees down, child's pose, open the knees up, tops of the feet flat to the floor, big toes touch. As the forehead touches down to the mat, you could keep it an active child's pose. Your arms could continue to extend out in front of you, or your arms could run down by your sides. You could let your shoulders rest. With your eyes closed, noticing the depth of your breath. On the inhale, reaching your arms forward if you took them by your sides. Rise back up to all fours. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Pausing in down dog, take a deep inhale to stretch back. As you exhale, gaze forward and lightly step your feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold in. Bend your knees, drop your hips into chair pose. So the weight is into the heels. There's maybe a lightness in the toes, and your shins are right above your ankles as you sit deep. One more time here. Take an inhale in chair, then chest to the thighs, arms by the sides, little flow. Inhale, back to chair pose, 2 to go. Exhale, chest down, arms back, knees stay bent if they can. Inhale, back to chair pose. Last time, chest down, arms back, you got it. Inhale, reach to chair, pause here. Then press to standing, hands come to your heart as you bring it into the center. Good, feel your 2 feet rooted at the top of the mat, and your feet are steady the way that you're steady on the inside. Start to shift the weight into your left foot and step your right foot toward the back of your mat. With your right foot to the back of your mat, setting up for warrior 1, your left hip hugging back, the outer edge of your right foot sealing to the mat, and your right toes gently pointing forward. That's going to guide your right hip, your right waist, your right shoulder toward the top of the mat. Keep what you have, send your arms to the sky, inhale, first warrior. Palms face each other, outer arms gently roll toward the top of the mat. Reaching your fingertips up, can you continue to lift your hips up and then sit deeper into your left thigh? Take a big inhale at the top, open up second warrior, spread your arms out wide. Palms face down, arms reach away from each other as the collarbones spread wide. Gaze over the horizon line, gaze over your left middle finger, and notice if there's anything working that you don't need to work right now. Maybe it's the mind, maybe it's the face, soften something. Flip your left palm to the sky, inhale, reverse it, take your left arm up and over your head, and then reach your right hand up, take your left wrist, and gently draw your left arm back. So you just give yourself a little bit of sweet space across your left ribs. Take a big inhale to reach back. Back through warrior 2, spread your arms out, palms face down. Take a goodbye inhale here. Straighten your left leg, keep your arms lifted, heel toe your back foot in and point it at a gentle angle so your heel is back, your toes are forward. Then inhale, triangle pose. Reach the left arm out, left hand comes down, right arm to the sky, stack the shoulders, and we're just holding it here today. Reaching the right arm up, reaching the left hand down, hand could be on a block, hand could be on the shin or to the outside edge of the foot. Beautiful, you guys. Deep breath right into the center of your chest. Your belly button's hugging towards your spine, so the center of your heart really receives and feels the breath. Then look down at your left knee. Start to bend your left knee. Come back through warrior 2. So you re-sit down into that left thigh. Reach the arms out. Straighten the left leg. Pivot the left toes to mirror the right. Take a deep inhale at the top. Exhale, fold forward between your two thighs. Stay down low this time and walk yourself to your back left leg. Wrap your left forearm around your left calf, leg stays straight, and take your right hand to your left ankle as you pour your chest over your thigh. So using the arms as levers to spiral the chest toward the left leg. See if you can continue to fire up the right inner thigh, pull the right hip back as the chest spirals down toward the back of the mat. Beautiful, you guys. Take one more big inhale here. Stay down low, crawl all the way to your front right leg, wrap your right forearm around your right calf, take your left hand to your right ankle and spiral the chest towards your right leg. And just continue to fire up the legs. The legs are still strong, the kneecaps are drawing up, the inner thighs are hugging in, and the outer thighs are hugging in. Take one more deep inhale here. As you exhale, release your right foot. Come back through the center, let the head hang. And as you let the head hang, this time sweep the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, squeeze the palms to touch, and drop the hands up and over the head. And as you drop the hands up and over the head, feel that you're lifting the round part of your shoulders away from the floor. So that's going to bring the tips of your shoulder blades together behind your heart, broadening your collarbones across your chest. Take one more deep inhale. Release your hands down as you exhale. Stay down low and crawl to your front right foot. Spin your right toes forward, pivot onto your back left toes. Take a deep inhale and lower your left knee down to the mat. Slide your left knee back behind your left hip. Heel toe your right foot to the right and bring your right hand to the inside edge of the foot. If everything's a little tight, you can stay right here. If you have the space, bend the back left knee, reach back with the right hand, and take a hold of the top of the foot. You might have the foot, you might have the ankle, see what you have today. But notice that the right knee continues to hug in and you stand into the mound of the right big toe. The right big toe roots down into the floor. Take a deep inhale at the top. As you exhale, release the left foot back, plant the right hand to the mat, heel toe the right foot back to the center, tuck the left toes, lift the left knee, and step back to downward facing dog. As you step back to down dog, pausing in down dog for a moment, just your last time in this shape. Take a deep inhale as you firm the chest back. As you exhale, lower your knees down to the mat, crawl your knees forward, cross your ankles behind you, and as you roll into your back, have your block nearby. And with your block nearby, hug your knees into your chest, laying all the way down onto your back. And as you recline back, plant your feet flat to the mat. With your feet about the distance of the hips, reach down and see that you can graze your heels with your hands. And then reach down and take your block, pressing into your feet with your block probably at its lowest height or its medium height. Lift your hips and slide your block right underneath your sacral area. So it's that flat part of the lowest point of your back, that triangular bone right at the very base of your spine. So making sure that your block is the long ways, it's horizontal rather than vertical. And this is really important. It's going to give the SI more support than if it was the length of the spine. So having it the long ways, really let your sacrum get heavy down into the block like you were a paperweight. Let yourself weigh down into the floor. Feel how your inner thighs spiral down. Your knees continue to point straight ahead. Let the pelvic floor soften, let the belly soften, and then sense that the back of your head is resting into the mat. And then you might stay here. This might be a great place for you to rest. But if it feels okay and if it feels safe, draw your right knee into your chest and then send your right leg toward the sky. Spread through your right toes, and same thing with the left leg. Left knee floats in, left leg floats toward the sky, just a supported variation of shoulder stand. Back of the head resting to the floor, sacrum still heavy to the mat. Spread your toes like you were in a pair of really high heels. Send the ball of the foot toward the sky. And leaving the chin where it is. Leaving the back of the neck long and maybe even a little lifted away from the floor so you maintain the arc of the cervical spine. Take one more deep inhale at the top. As you exhale, bend your knees, place your feet to the floor. As you plant your feet to the mat, press down into your 2 feet, lift your hips up, slide your block off to the side. As you slide your block up to the side, pause for a moment, lower your back all the way down onto the mat, and then reach down and hug your knees into your chest. As you hug your knees into your chest, keep your right knee where it is and send your left leg towards straight. Reach your right arm out of your right shoulder and very gently twist and cross your right knee over your body. And see that your right shoulder can stay rooted down toward the floor. And your knee might touch the floor, it might not. That's totally fine. On the inhale, coming back through the center, hug the right knee into the chest and send the right leg towards straight. Float the left knee into the chest, reach the left arm out of the left shoulder, and twist and cross the knee over the body. Easy twist. Letting all work go, staying with your breath. On the inhale, coming back through the center, hug the left knee into the chest, hug the right knee into the chest, wrap the forearms around the knees, give yourself one last deep squeeze in. And then as you exhale, let the arms go, let the legs go, let the arms run down by the sides. As the feet fall away from each other together, one last time. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Fill the body up with breath. Hold the breath at the top. See if you can draw in a little more breath. And then open the mouth. Letting all the breath leave the body. Let your eyes close. And as if your body were just sinking down into the floor. The way that you might be supported in a beautiful bed of water, there's this feeling of sinking down in and at the same time being supported up. See if you can feel that balance as you rest. If you have the time at home to stay here and rest a little bit longer, please do so. Giving yourself gratitude and thanks for filling your cup back up, and knowing because you took time today to take care of you, that you'll have more to give. If this is it, we'll see you next time. Always so great practicing with you. Namaste.